I'd like to call to order the resumption of the Township of Morris regular meeting Tuesday, December 19th, 2017. If everyone would stand.
Detail. Forward. Mark. Mark time. March. Halt. Left face. Present arms.
Everyone would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Court, arms, parade, rest.
You may be seated. I would call now for the approval of the minutes dated November the 8th, 2017, regular and closed.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Roll call.
Mr. Avery.
Here.
Mrs. Johnson. Yes. Mr. McPherson.
Here.
Mr. Dunn.
Yes.
Mayor Sisson.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out tonight. We have lots of great things happening here in Morris Township this evening, honoring some young men who did some tremendous things on the football field. We have some phenomenal police department awards and promotions this evening, as well as a few other special presentations. We will have, at the end of the resolution for appreciation for Caffrey and Mrs. Johnson, we will have a short break so that unless you all want to stay and see how the sausage is made here in Morris Township, you're more than welcome to leave it at the break. I would like to welcome a special guest who just arrived, our Morris County Sheriff, Sheriff Jim Gannon. Sheriff. And now if the Morris Township, or the Morristown Wildcats 5th grade football team would come to the front of the audience, please. Got a special relationship with the Wildcats. My uncle is Dave Flynn, whose family started the Colonials, and so it's a pleasure. And my daughter cheerleads for the for the Wildcats, and has been doing it for a number of years. So it's very special to have this team here. They won their championship, their little Super Bowl. So congratulations, guys. So each one of you will get a certificate from the Township of Morris. Certificate of Excellence and congratulations to your names, to Morristown Wildcats football team, upon the occasion of winning the New Jersey Youth Suburban Football League Super Bowl, and for demonstrating exemplary determination, skill, and team effort throughout the winning season. And congratulations to the coaches, the players, and especially the parents, as this win is a culmination of dedication, hard work, and athletic excellence. And it is signed by me, Bruce Sisler Mayor, Daniel Caffrey, Township Committee Member, Matthew Nunn, Township Committee Member, Peter Mancuso, Township Committee Member, and Louise Johnson, our Deputy Mayor. So congratulations, guys.
Hello, I'm Mike Acolari. I'm the head coach of these fine young men. Wasn't planning on saying anything, but I want to thank the mayor and everyone for having us here. It's really nice for the boys. We're very proud of them, and to be recognized like this is really special, so thank you very much. We had a great group of parents who supported us all the way, a great coaching staff, but most importantly, it's these guys you're looking at here. We started practicing August 14th, and our Super Bowl was the 3rd week of November. So 4 nights a week for basically 3 months. These boys were out there giving their all and working hard, and they really learned, I think, what can happen with hard work and determination. So I'm super proud of them. I know everyone, all the parents and coaches are. And guys, this is for you. Everyone's here to cheer you on, so it's your night, and congratulations and thank you.
To read off the names of the gentlemen that are here tonight. And you want to just, when I call your name, put your hand up. Jack Ahern, not here. Aiden Barber, Matthew Birdwall, Chase Bright, Sam Bromwich, Anthony Casale, Thomas Cohn, Alexander Davis, Reed Donegan, Julian Eisenberg, Philip Fulmer, Trey Friday, Eric Gem, Dane Carlsons, Braden Kijanka, Nair Lyle, oh boy, Demetrios Mahalakakos, Dalton Ochab, Lucas Reza, Ryan Santoriello, Aiden Sorsby, oh boy, Connor Tomaszewski, Carl Williams, and last but not least, my good buddy Sidney Williams. Hey, buddy. Coach Mike, Coach Caleb, Coach Chip, and Coach Todd, and for bringing these guys here tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, Hey man, go down. Good man. It's my baseball club. Congratulations. All right, let's go see some police officers get promoted now. This time I'd like to call our Chief of Police, Mark DiCarlo, as well as our police committee to the
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark DiCarlo, and I'm Chief of Police for the Morris Township Police Department. I'd like to welcome family, friends, members of the community, fellow Morris Township police officers, fellow law enforcement officers, for joining our celebration tonight. It's going to be a good night. We have a promotion of Jason Waller to sergeant, and we have an award presentation for Diego Pinheiro. I want to thank members of the Morris Township Honor Guard for their time tonight, and most of all, thank Mayor Sisler and the Township Committee for the opportunity to present this evening. Jason Waller was born and raised in Morris Township. He grew up on Kennedy Road and gained his first public service experiences when he joined the Morris Minutemen First Aid Squad in 1987. Jason graduated from Morristown High School in 1989 and was the proud recipient of the Morris Township PBA Scholarship. Jason attended the John Jay College of Criminal Justice in December of 1993 when he graduated. Jason managed to successfully graduate with high honors and a Bachelor of Science degree while working full-time. Jason began his law enforcement career in January 1994 as a police dispatcher for the Morris Plains Police Department. In January of 1995, he was accepted into the 2nd Alternate Route Police Training Program, where he graduated in the top 10% of his class. Even though he had several employment opportunities or job offers from other agencies, his first and only choice was to work for the Morris Township Police Department, where he joined in 1995. While assigned to the Patrol Division, Jason has had several collateral duties that include Communications Officer, Crime Prevention Officer, Field Training Officer, former member of the Special Operations Unit, and unfortunately for you tonight, Jason, you're going to be promoted off of the Emergency Services Unit. Jason served the Emergency Service Unit as an active emergency medical technician and a senior member of the unit. In September 2003, Jason was selected to represent the police department as the first school resource officer, thus allowing an officer to be placed in the Morris School District's Freeland-Heisen Middle School. He was tasked with reducing the number of issues that negatively impacted the school and to be an additional resource for not only students, but for the staff and parents as well. He was instrumental in implementing the Gang Resistance Training Program and Alive at 25 programs for Morris School District, among several other programs. The positive impact he made on the students and staff can be seen today as he walks through the hallways of the schools, and when past students come up to him, talk with him, and will still, to this day, refer to him as OJ. Jason continues to hold several key positions within the department. He is not only firearms instructor for the department, he is also a certified police training commission firearms instructor for the Morris County Police Academy. He is a firearms armor and has been tasked with many other assignments. Jason has several notable career achievements. In 2001, while field training Officer Picola, they assisted with the delivery of a baby on Rayner Road. In spite of the many years of service on the Morris Minutemen First Aid Squad, this was his first baby delivery. He was named 2001-2002 Police Officer of the Year by the Knights of Columbus. In 2005, he was named the Morris Township Police Officer of the Year. While assigned to the Patrol Division, he received several MAD awards for leading the department with arresting and removing the most intoxicated drivers from our roadways and making them safer for everyone. Some other career highlights include a wide range of self-initiated arrests. In September 2016, he apprehended 2 suspects breaking into vehicles at the Del Barton School when they fled the scene. In February of 2017, Jason also apprehended a male suspect responsible for several home burglaries throughout the Morris County area. Another noteworthy career highlight was when Jason was assisting the Morristown Police Department in searching for a missing, non-communicative, autistic juvenile. He successfully located the missing juvenile and returned him safely to his family. Jason married the love of his life in October 1998, and they live in Randolph, New Jersey. They have 2 children, Bailey, 16, who just earned her driver's license, learner's, and Liam, 13. They are active with the Presbyterian Church on the Green in Morristown. Jason also is a bagpiper with the Police Pipes and Drums of Morris County, a volunteer bagpipe band comprised of law enforcement officers and first responders who pay homage to our brothers and sisters who have made the ultimate sacrifice, as well as our military men and women of our armed forces. Mayor Sisler and the Township Committee, I present to you Sergeant J.C. Wall.
Right hand. Do solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in this state and the United States pursuant to the authority of the people, so help you God.
I do.
We further solemnly swear that you will faithfully, justly, and impartially perform all the duties of office of, what's your new rank? Sergeant of the Police Department of the Township of Morris to the best of your ability, so help you God.
I will.
Congratulations.
We're going to dress up. Stand decent now? Oh, yeah, you want?
Thanks, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to continue to serve the residents of Morris Township. It's an honor for me. It's an honor to have my nephew here recording this ceremony. Family, friends, thank you very much. You know, it's been a long career for me, and it's been enjoyable. I love everybody here, and thank you for your support. And please join us at the Fairchild Firehouse for some dinner and some drinks afterwards, and we're going to continue to enjoy the celebration. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Proves in one more instance that we have the greatest group of people to choose from to become part of the greatest police force in the state of New Jersey. And we are so proud of you. God bless you and God bless your family.
I spoke to my daughter before down in Florida, and I said, hey, by the way, Officer Jason's getting promotion tonight, and I got, oh my God, tell her Jason hello! So you are loved by all the kids, and you're a school resource officer, and all these kids in this town, when you go to the town pool, they just swarm you. You have made an impact on many kids' lives, and thank you.
Our next presentation is an award presentation to Officer Diego Pinheiro. He's going to receive the Exceptional Duty Award tonight. And before I give that to him, I just want to define what that is for all of you. The Exceptional Duty Award is a highly credible accomplishment bringing public acclaim to himself, his department, or the police profession through programs to further police efficiency or contributions to the welfare and advancement of the profession. In September 2017, Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico by leaving thousands of residents without food, water, and electricity. In November of 2017, Patrolman Diego Pinheiro was selected for deployment to Puerto Rico with the Morris County Rapid Deployment Team. Patrolman Pinheiro spent 2 weeks assisting the residents in providing security. Thank you for your outstanding performance of duty, dedicated service to the citizens of the Township of Morris. And before we applaud Diego, I always like to break script at least once. And, you know, sure, he really did. He's definitely deserving of this award, and he definitely performed in an exceptional manner. But so far beyond that, you were really, you know, willing to take on an assignment that many of us knew little about. As a matter of fact, what we did know is there was a sense of uncertainty. There was certainly a degree of risk involved for him. And we know what we saw on television. There was certainly devastation. There was limited to no resources. There was dead and injured people everywhere. And there was a sense of lawlessness. And he went down there for 2 weeks, 12-plus-hour shifts every day in a row without a day off, and saw some things that, you know, stories we may care to about. So I'm not only proud of Diego, I'm so proud of our organization, and so appreciative of the Township of Morris that allowed the opportunity for Diego to go down there. And now we can offer him our own.
it seems like we have such a great plethora of people who we can honor and who do the things that we need them to do. These are our policemen. And young gentlemen back there, something for you all to aspire to as you get older. But once again, God bless you and all of your family. Merry Christmas.
Thank you for your dedication. You know, on behalf of Morris Township and the residents here, we thank you for really doing a selfless a job that got no thanks down there. You were put into harm's way, and I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Two final recognitions this evening. Two of our Township Committee members are having their final meeting this evening, and so we wanted to recognize them in front of the public to say thank you. Mr. Johnson. We will be passing a resolution number 253-17 in recognition and appreciation to Louise T. Johnson. Whereas Louise Johnson has rendered to the citizens of the Township of Morris 3 years of faithful service as a member of the Township Committee. Louise, having served on the Board of Health, served as my Deputy Mayor, as well as on the standing committees Finance, Insurance and Tax Assessor, Parks and Recreation, Fire, Buildings and Grounds, Sanitary Sewer, and Information Technology. During her years of service, she faithfully performed the duties and obligations thrust upon her. Louise has given her utmost to the Township of Morris and to all its citizens who have benefited by her experience, faithfulness, knowledge, foresight, and zeal. Mayor and Township Committee of the Township of Morris wish to recognize her unselfish contribution to the citizens of Morris Township through her dedication to civic duty, for giving of her time and talent without reserve to our community. Mayor and members of the Township Committee wish to thank Louise's husband, Alan, as well as her family, for sharing her with our community. So now let it be hereby resolved that as citizens of the Township of Morris extend our appreciation for the years of dedicated service to Deputy Mayor Louise Johnson. And our last, but certainly not least, Mayor Caffrey. We'll be passing in a few minutes resolution number 254-17 in recognition and appreciation, Daniel W. Caffrey. Whereas Daniel W. Caffrey has rendered to the citizens of the Township of Morris 9 years of faithful service as a member of the Township Committee. Dan has served on the Board of Health. He's also served as Mayor and Deputy Mayor, as well as the following standing committees: Engineering and Code Enforcement, Finance, Insurance and Tax Assessor, Personnel, Parks and Recreation, Fire, Streetlights, Buildings and Grounds, Roads and Sanitation, Sanitary Sewers, and Police. During his years of service, he's faithfully performed the duties and obligations thrust upon him. He's given the utmost to the Township of Morris and to all the citizens who have benefited his experience, faithfulness, knowledge, foresight, and zeal. Morris, the Mayor and the Township Committee of the Township of Morris wish to recognize his unselfish contribution to the citizens of Morris Township through his dedication to civic duty, for giving of his time and talent without reserve to us. The Mayor and the members of the Township Committee wish to thank Dan's wife, Lorraine, and his family with sharing him with our community. Due recognition should be given to his stature he attained during his public service to the Township of Morris by his exemplary personal life and his public achievements. So that, on behalf of the citizens of the Township of Morris, we extend our appreciation for the years and dedicated service to Mayor Daniel W. Caffrey. Thank you all for coming out this evening. We are going to, in a minute, take a break, but we have to retire our colors, so if everyone would please stand.
Detail. Attention. Port arms. Right face. Forward march.
We will recess for 5 minutes.
Here we go. Then you want to start over again.
I'd like to call to order the resumption of the December 20th, 2017 Township of Morris regular meeting. To my understanding, we have presentations for the Community Development Block grant applications this evening. There's someone from the Housing Authority, County of Morris.
Good evening, my name is Kelly Stevens. I'm from the Housing Authority of the County of Morris. We are putting in an application for the Morris County Community Development Block Grant for our Dean Gallo Congregate, our Dean Gallo Congregate Living Facility. The building is now 21 years old, so we're putting in an application to replace the appliances in the commercial kitchen. Not only is it utilized by the Housing Authority of the County of Morris, but we also contract out space for free through the Morris County Nutrition Project. So they not only do their home delivered meal program, but they also have a congregate nutrition site Monday through Friday for all members of Morris County. The congregate living facility is located on site of Morris Muse, which is on the corner of Ketch Road and West Hanover Avenue. We provide a weekend meal program as well as a housekeeping service for the frail elderly. So we do have a cook that comes in and prepares a nutritious meal for them on the weekends, and they need to come down to the dining room to get out of their apartments, have socialization. So because those appliances are aged, that's why we are applying for the replacement of them. We have to repair them. It's been quite costly. When it's down, sometimes it takes time for the parts to be ordered, for it to be repaired. So, we're hoping we have your approval to apply for the CDBG grant.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Stevens?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck with the grant.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here from the Delta Community Supports Group Home? Just so everyone knows why we're doing this, this is a federal program, federal grant money that will be coming to the County of Morris, and the two entities that wish to apply for these grants need to come before us to get our approval for them to apply for the grant. It's not approval for the actual grant money. The County of Morris actually does that. So, Mr. Quinn?
Thank you, sir. It's actually a very modest amount, and it is, we have a group home that is at 614 West Hanover Avenue. It's run by Delta for that. There's about 4 or 5 units at that location. They were requesting the replacement to apply for the grant for the HVAC replacement in the amount of $17,986, and that is their request.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mills, resolutions?
Yes, Mayor. We have resolutions 252-17 through 2 additional resolutions added, 266 and 267-17. Of those additional resolutions, the first one, 266-17, as Mr. Quinn informed us in closed session, authorizes the acceptance of a $100,000 settlement in further reimbursement of township costs and expenses for the environmental litigation landfill known as Coomfield North, South, and possibly Sharkey, not sure. And the attorney handling that will be compensated on a contingency basis from those proceeds. Last resolution, newly added 267-17, resolves to appoint a probationary police officer, as is our practice, and his name is James Lezak.
That's correct.
Is there a motion for 252-17 through 267-17?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Capri?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson? Yes. Mr. Marcuso?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mayor Sisson?
Yes. This time we come to the portion of the meeting, public commentary and inquiry. If you wish to address the Township Committee, please come to the podium. State your name and your address, please.
Lee Goldberg, 10 Arrowhead Road. For the settlement that was referred to in the resolution that you just had mentioned with the add-on, is that it was posted in the agenda, and it mentions towns like Mount Olive, Parsippany, etc. What is the liability to the town? What is the township role in all of that?
In the litigation?
Or in the settlement of litigation, like it's nothing in the wording of the resolution where I see it tied to Morris Township per se. It mentions Parsippany, Mount Olive sites, or
the township, to be brief, was a named defendant along with literally hundreds of other municipalities and other public corporations in a series of Superfund lawsuits, actually, demanding compensation for the cleanup of these various Superfund sites. The reason we were named, together with the other municipalities, was not because we did anything bad, but because those landfills accepted our municipal solid waste. Little did anyone know, and all municipalities were involved, that this would later boomerang back as a problem. So it was cleanup funds against which the attorneys who represented us, and I think they did a pretty good job, they ferreted out through Ms. Milio's help and other minutes kept in the public library, records of various insurance companies that we had over the 30-year, 70s and 80s, who were then successfully able to recover literally in full all of the monies we laid out, which was hundreds of thousands of dollars, toward our share of the cleanup costs. So we're basically whole.
We had a previous settlement of $350,000, and now we have this settlement that will close it out.
gotcha. So when you say settlement, that's money that we paid out as part of the settlement?
No,
we took in.
This is money coming in.
Oh, okay.
This is being reimbursed for what we had to pay out as part of the settlements approximately 10 or 12 years ago.
We're recovering money we paid out.
I see.
This is a bonanza.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much for explaining that. At last month's meeting, it was brought up, there was a settlement that was still hadn't been completely finalized for the with the Fair Share Housing Center. Has that since been fully settled and signed? Is that a complete settlement now in terms of being completed?
It won't be. We have agreement amongst the principal involved parties. The final imprimatur, if you will, is requires what's they're calling a fairness hearing, scheduled for February 8th before Judge Neergaard.
Thank you. Thank you. Regarding the Honeywell site, I don't know if this is something that, or how I would follow up on finding out about this, but behind my residence, which I've lived in since 1994, there's monitoring wells, and those monitoring wells on the site have been sort of routinely, you see the cars pull up every night, been monitored by some sort of service employee of Honeywell. I've noticed that activity has pretty much ceased. I haven't seen anyone come and check on the well, and it was a routine, regular pattern at night and regular checks. Is that activity continuing, or how would one learn if that was
state DEP?
What's that?
Those were state DEP requirements.
So the requirements were that they be monitored.
Right, and I believe they got their closure on those, but that would be all through the state DEP.
Closure on the monitoring wells?
All of the property and the environmental conditions on the property.
Okay, thank you. I have a question on the resolution also tonight regarding the alcohol sales. It looks like because the holidays are falling on a Sunday, we're moving that time back to 10 a.m. to permit alcohol sales on Sunday for, I guess, Christmas Eve and the following weekend. Just
Not-
here,
Not preventing, it's allowing.
allowing, I'm sorry, thank you. So is that something, I mean, it seems, you know, I mean, obviously that's good for the businesses, but it seems with, you know, football at 1 o'clock, pre-games at 12 o'clock, those times being earlier, is that something that we could actually change at the local level if we wanted to allow beer sales on 10 a.m. on any given Sunday?
Yes.
We could change, okay, thank you. Also, my final questions are regarding the Colgate-Palmolive site. I was reading that there's some issues, I guess, with the driveway or roadway coming in and out of Menon Arena, flooding that property. And maybe Ms. Johnson or Mr. Mancuso, who are on the planning board, might be able to answer this. But on that site, obviously the road leading into Menon Arena would be, I guess, a major entrance and leaving point. How many exits and entrances are planned for that site in total? Would you happen to recall? And I know the ShopRite has 3, and they're about the quarter the size across the street. Any recollection on that? Or entrances and major entrances and exits?
You're talking about on the driveway, or you're talking going on the East Town Road and West King Avenue?
I'm just talking about from the overall development itself.
Onto
Hanover Road or MLK or whatever?
One coming onto MLK, and I believe you have 2 coming on East Hanover Avenue.
2 coming out of T-shirt, and that also, does that include the road going into the Menon Arena?
It does not.
It does not. So the ball field that's on there now in the corner now, that's going to be, I believe, relocated someplace to the back of the property? Is that the plan?
That is correct.
And will that be, I know, I just learned tonight actually, that we actually leased that property from Colgate. So is the new field or the new property, that's going to be part of township open space, a township field, or we'll have to lease that from the developer?
No, that is going to be township open space property at this time.
Okay, thank you. And is there, the concern I have on it, from reading the article that I read about what's going on between the Park Commission and the developer, it seems like the planning board approved a plan that's going to have to utilize the Menon Arena Road. Would that be accurate? I mean, did the planning board sort of take that into account during their planning of that development?
We approved it subject to the adjudication of the use of the road.
Part of the planning board resolution.
Access needs to be assured, so in one way, shape, or form, it'll be dealt with.
Okay, thank you very much.
My name is Patricia Sims of Western Avenue over in Morris Township. First, I want to start off and say thank you to Dan and Louise for your time served on the board and enjoying your much help and relaxed time. I'm with the Morris Township Office of Emergency Management Rescue Squad, and I would just like to thank the board again this year for their help in supporting us. We do a roses fundraiser. So we'll be selling roses from the Morris Township Hillside Homes Company Firehouse on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that's a fundraiser that we do, and the Township Committee has helped us let us use the firehouse because our building's down here on this side of town by the sewer plant. So I don't think anybody wants to come see us for the roses there. But we just like to have you, thank you for putting it on the calendar and for all your support.
Thanks.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everybody.
Good evening, Jeff Brazel, 188 Head Road. I have 4 things to touch on tonight, so if you'll give me the time, I would appreciate it. First is the big news of today was that the U.S. House of Representatives passed the new tax bill, and there's been a lot of talk about prepaying 2018 taxes into 2017 because of the loss of the property tax deduction or the cap on the property tax deduction. I wanted to know, has the township put anything in place where residents can prepay, or can they regularly prepay?
It's already in place.
It's already in place. And can you tell us?
Many years.
Okay. And what's the process so I can do that?
Write a check.
Write a check and bring it in. Correct. Okay, very good. Thank you. The second thing is I read in the newspaper about a trail grant that we received for the Blue Mill Farm property. Is that correct? Blue Gate Farm property. Yes, thanks. I assume that's Bill Fulch is doing. Is that correct?
Certainly is.
Great. Congratulations. Congratulations, Bill. Thank you for doing that for Morris Township. I just wanted to ask, I don't know if it was discussed before, where does the trail go? Does it just circle the property?
No, it goes from Von Egan Drive out to Carmel Hills neighborhood.
Okay. Very good. Is there a map of it? Is there something posted where you can see where the layout is?
We're going to have it surveyed. We have a rough estimate of where it's going to be. You can certainly pick up a copy of the grant application. Any number request for that.
Okay. Very good. Thanks. Third, I wanted to talk about the new recycling program. I'm in phase 1, and I was very happy to start that 3 weeks ago. I cannot tell you how happy I was not to have to bundle my newspapers and just drop them in the bin. It was a pleasure. It saved me 15 minutes, and it's going to save me 15 minutes every Thursday, along with bundling my cardboard. So thank you for putting that in place. I believe it was Mr. Caffrey, who was on the sanitation committee, who put that in helped put that in place. So
along with many others. Thank you.
But thank you for your efforts. One comment I did have is the recycling bin, unlike the garbage bin, does not have a handle on the top. The garbage bins have 2 handles on the corners. The recycling bin does not. I don't know if it was done to save money or not, but
different vendor.
It's a different vendor. So my suggestion is, if there's it's a great convenience. I've noticed it already in 3 weeks trying to open up that bin. If there's a way to put that in the RFQ for the next round of bins,
they've already been purchased.
They've already been purchased. Okay.
But you have 15 extra minutes to figure it out.
There you go.
You got more gripping room with the new side.
Okay. And lastly, the real reason I came out tonight was to pay thanks to Dan Caffrey and Louise Johnson. I could have asked all those prior comments of Mr. Quinn offline, but I chose to come out here to recognize the 2 of you and the efforts you put into Morris Township. Speaking of newspapers, I actually read the Star Ledger, one of the 2 newspapers, and every Sunday there's a column where there's a Democrat and a Republican arguing over certain issues. It's Mike Heim from the Republican strategist, Mike Duhame, and Julie Roginski, a Democratic strategist. I don't know either of them, but I actually read their column every week. And one thing they actually said last week, they talked about why they're so friendly, and they said talking sports is more important than talking politics. And I remember many an evening talking baseball with Dan over pizza or something else. And while we disagreed on Yankees versus Mets, it was always a pleasure.
Don't try to talk sports with me. Everyone knows I
So I do want to say that there is absolutely no disputing the dedication that you guys have had to Morris Township. Dan, I think you and I overlapped by 4 years while I was on the committee. It was a pleasure working with you. And I know that being a committee man can sometimes be a thankless job, so I did want to come out and pay personal thanks to you. And I'm sure there's a lot of gratitude from other residents of Morris Township for all of the 9 years that you put into this office.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Good night, sir.
Very classy. Thank you.
Move we close the public portion, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a second? Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent calendar as received. Mr. Nunn.
I want to thank Mr. Grisel for those comments. That was a class act, so thank you. And I'm going to miss Dan and Louise. I suspect maybe we haven't heard the last of Louise. I'm hoping that at least. Dan will be moving on to South Carolina eventually. They're gaining our loss. But I look forward to working with Ms. Wilson, who's here, Mr. Armides, who's here. When you have new people, everyone has new ideas that they can bring to the table. And so hopefully the sausage that gets made next year and the years thereafter will taste as good as the sausage that's been made while Dan's been here for 9 years. Thank you. Happy holidays to everyone.
Mr. Mancuso.
Thank you, sir. I echo all of Matt's comments and thoughts. I been on the board with Dan for 7 years now, and we'll truly miss him. And he's going down to South Carolina with the Gamecocks of the most important situation that exists out there. That's the University of South Carolina. And we'll miss you very, very much, Dan. And Louise, all my best to you. As Matt said, look forward to seeing you involved in the township in the future. And we thank you very much for your service. There's a bill coming out from the legislature in New Jersey that is going to increase the penalties for texting while driving. And we'll have more for that for you in the January meeting. So, Jeff, thank you very much.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Johnson.
Again, that was very kind of you to come out, Jeff. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mayor Sisler, for this beautiful tribute. I did not expect this at all. So it's called to the mic, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, I better save my comments for last. But I did want to congratulate Bill Folsch, who has just had his first new granddaughter, Nora. She's really cute, so I'm very happy for you. And I'm very grateful to all of you on the dais for your guidance and mentoring these past 3 years. I've ascended a steep learning curve, and you all helped me with that. And I think not only myself, but all of us owe a debt of gratitude to Tim Quinn, and John Mills, and Kathy Emilio, who are the ones who really do the heavy lifting in this town, often behind the scenes, to make things turn out right for all of us. And at this juncture, my life feels kind of like a chessboard. There's a lot of potential moves on it. And I'm considering moves that, bearing in mind implications for myself and my family and for Morris Township, and maybe for even some of you in this room. I've applied to a number of boards and committees as a way to use what I've learned to continue to serve the township. And I personally feel very blessed to have the freedom and the fortunate circumstances to allow me to choose what I actually do next. I retired from corporate life, and I may jump back in a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I wish Kathy and John the best of luck in their new roles. And if there's ever a piece of advice that bears heeding, it is to listen very carefully to Tim Quinn and John Mills. When they present you with decisions or options, you can be sure that the homework is always done and the possible consequences have been analyzed from every angle. I've always considered my role on the Township Committee as one of supporting Tim and all the excellent Township employees reporting to him. They know what they are doing, and often the best course of action is just to stay out of their way and let them do it. You will know when it's time to take action or make a decision. And good luck to Dan, who's my running mate from a few years ago, to move on to a new phase in your life, and to Bruce and Matt as they contemplate next year's campaign. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Mayor Caffrey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I want to just take a few moments just to kind of reflect over my last 9 years of serving on a committee and some of my experiences and what I've learned and whatnot, and also serving as mayor. So when I first took the oath of office back in January of 2009, my 3 kids were 13, 11, and 9. All very involved in the community, sports, recreation. Today, my oldest daughter has graduated from college and is a 3rd grade special ed teacher down in Delray Beach, Florida. It's good to be her. My middle son is a junior at Boston College, and my youngest is a senior in high school, right now contemplating where he's going to attend college next year. And I'm also entering the next phase of well as in my career, as my wife and I will be heading south, taking on the southeast region for my company. Morris Township has truly been a special place. All 3 of my children were born here and grew up in this community. It's all they know. I got involved because I do care, and it will always hold a special place in my heart. All that said, I've spent some time reflecting on some of the accomplishments, not only I, but this board. Everybody I've been involved with, and I'm going to include, and I want to thank Mr. Grazel for coming out tonight with the kind words. this board has been involved in a lot of accomplishments, but I tried to take a look at, so some I don't put all to sleep. Some of what I would say that the top ones were. In 9 years, Morris Township has had an overall tax increase on average of just under 2% a year. By the way, that number includes, in 2010, a 7% increase during the time of the financial crisis, where Morris Township lost all of its state aid. If you throw out that outlier, it's an average of less than 1% per year, where inflation is well averaged more than that. And that, by the way, includes paying for just about completely $7 million in corporate tax appeals during that time frame, also during the financial crisis. The refurbishing of our 2 township pools, and thank you to Mr. Falsh back there, who took the lead on that. Increased membership has been up. We set goals on increasing that membership, and we've hit and surpassed them. They're a community staple here in Morris Township. That accounts for summers that families will always remember. Our new trash and recycling collection. Mr. Grazel has mentioned that. A lot of folks were involved in that. I know it came, I think Mr. Grazel was on the committee. I'm not sure, Mr. Mancuso, if you were, but I was down in North Carolina on vacation, and I saw one of those things picking up, and I sent back a video to Scott Rosenbush at that time. I said, and to Bruce, I'm like, check this out. So years later, here we are. We've been able to do it during a time when we would have had to replace that equipment anyways. So the savings that we've achieved in workers' comp and from a headcount point of view has far outweighed the initial cost of putting that into place. Core 9 Field. Core 9 Field has been, for 9 years, I've been working on trying to find and locate, as well as this board, a place for a sports complex. We settled on Core 9 Field, we were ready to go, we started drilling, and lo and behold, we hit that thing. So that became a nightmare, years, DEP, extravaganza, is the only way I can put it. And again, thanks to Mr. Quinn, and thanks to Mr. Falsh, who countless times down in Trenton, working with DEP to get that solved. We're here, it's solved, we passed a resolution tonight to award the contract, and early in 2018, that's going to break ground, and I am certainly looking forward to coming back to some Friday night lights here, that's for sure. Shared service wins, including county dispatch, court system, library, and many others. The open space purchase of Valley View in our community garden, and as such protecting the vista, history, and the Washington Valley overlook from Picatinny Road. Achieving, and I look at this as one of the most important, achieving and maintaining our AAA bond rating. That, through fiscal responsibility, recognized by agencies like Moody's and Standard & Poor's, has allowed us to save countless thousands of dollars in bond interest to you taxpayers. And then last but not least, I truly take a lot of pride in the Honeywell redevelopment. The mixed-use redevelopment of Honeywell corporate complex will account for not only high-end corporate buildings as well as high-end townhomes. It will account for a significant influx of revenue into the township over the years. So I have to say, as I look back, there have been a lot of fun times, and there have been a lot of contentious debates. I think Mr. Grazel mentioned that as well, too. We had a lot of great times, but we also debated on a lot of issues. Everything that I always wanted to do for Morris Township really came from speaking to and knowing, knocking on doors, a lot of people, many of them with Louise Johnson, the doors of thousands of people, seeing them on baseball fields, soccer fields, at the town pool, knocking on doors, just around town. And I tried to take into account what the constituents of all the residents that I represented were looking for whenever I made a decision for the township. So I'm going to miss all of you up here. And I want to extend my thanks, and kind of in this order. Mrs. Emilio first, for teaching me the ropes when I first joined the committee. She grabbed me by the ear, and she told me where to go, where not to go, and she had my ear like this and pulled me along. Mr. Mills, for always being my voice of reason on way number of occasions.
It didn't always take.
Almost always. Mr. Mancuso, finance guru on the finance committee and very good friend. Thank you. Mr. Nunn, the new guy on the block, and being a great legal mind. You really helped this committee and you're a great friend. Thank you. Mrs. Johnson, great friend, great campaign partner. We knocked on a lot of doors together. We have a lot of great stories.
Some of which will not be
yes.
you get
All of which will not be my good friend, Mr. Mayor, Bruce Sisler. You're a great friend, a great political sounding board. We've had many a conversation, and it's been great. Lastly, Mr. Quinn, who bar none is the best administrator that any town could ever wish for, and great friend. I also want to thank the department heads. Mr. Falsh here tonight. All the department heads that I've had the ability and the interaction to work with over the last 9 years has been truly an honor. And as you probably all know, we're not up here doing it for the money. There really isn't any. We're not doing it for that. We're doing it because I did it because I can. I wanted to be involved. My kids were involved, and I really cared about the community. So, and lastly, I'd like to thank my family, who supported my commitment to the committee and the time it certainly took away from them. So, with that said, I talked about a lot what I'm going to miss. So I have my top 10 list of what I'm not going to miss. All right?
John Mills, step in.
And by the way, everyone is on the table here. All right? Number 10, Mr. Quinn for his long, drawn-out budget sessions. Number 9, and I know I'll hear a lot of groans right now, Citizens for Better Planning. Number 8, not having to hear about Peter II again. Number 7, vocabulary words from Peter that nobody's ever heard of. Number 6, hearing from certain residents who come to the microphone to question what they really don't care about, other than to just grandstand. Mrs. Emilio bugging me hourly to get my state financial disclosure form that I'm always late with. Number 4, not having to get a late night call from Bruce any longer. Number 3, residents not believing me that Mr. Mills is actually Dr. Mills. Number 2, getting return calls from Mr. Dunn, because I never get them.
John's my voice of reason.
And number 1, for saying that my laugh drowns out the audio, for Mrs. Wilson saying my laugh drowns out the audio on the video cable program that nobody watches. Ha 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 ha! I want to thank you all. Have a wonderful Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, and a very happy New Year, and thank you for everything.
Thank you. Let me just say that it's been an honor to work with both of you. It's a very interesting position you're here, and you have 5 different people with 5 different backgrounds, with 5 different sets of families and values, and coming from the legal, from the finance, from the corporate background, and learning from the both of you has been tremendous. 3 years and 8 years for me with you, Dan. So thank you very much for all of your hard work. I wanted to congratulate John and Kathy. We look forward to working with you coming up. John, we missed you in closed session tonight, but it was good to have Kathy in to get her head spinning with all that we have to do. Wanted to congratulate Steve Sims, who has been appointed tonight as a firefighter, Class 1, at the request of Chief Carr. I also wanted to say thank you to the Morris Township OEM and the FMBA. The rose sale is coming up. We approved that, as Patty said. To reiterate, Monday, February the 12th will be the first day from 12 to 7. Tuesday, February 13th from 8 to 8. Wednesday, February 14th from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we will be taking pre-orders. We will put that out on the Municipal Messenger, and it was mentioned on Facebook Live tonight as well. Also, I wanted to thank our township employees who for the 5th year in a row have collected toys and coats and clothing. They were able to provide 10 families Christmas presents in the DIFUS program. So a huge thank you to them, 5th year running, and they're phenomenal. Thank you, Mr. Quinn, and everyone in the health department.
And all of you guys too.
Thank you.
Chipping in.
And finally, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, Dan. And, thank you. Consideration of monthly reports circulated. We want to pay the bills. And we move pay the bills.
I will move that, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Roll call.
Ms. Caffrey?
Reluctantly.
Mrs. Johnson? Yes. Ms. Mancuso?
Yes.
Mr. Nunn?
Yes.
Mayor Sister?
Yes. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Oh, yeah.